The euro, the pound, and the DXY are all sitting on critical levels right now. So in this video, I'm going to share exactly what I'm looking for from these markets over the coming days. So my name is Justin Bennett, full-time trader and founder of Daily Price Action. As always, all of this is my opinion only and not financial advice. So let's get right into it here with the EURUSD on the daily time frame. So if you guys have followed these videos here for the last few months, you know about this change of character back here. This is what flipped me bearish on the euro following the run up back here in 2025. So you can see we had the BOS back here above the high that made this the external low. Closed below here, I was looking for a lower high around 1.18. So if you guys have followed those videos, you know that all of this has played out really, really nicely here for the euro with lower highs and lower lows on the way down. We are now seeing the euro break to fresh 12-month lows. Okay, so I want to preface today's video with anything I talk about with regard to relief from the euro and the pound. It is just that relief. Okay, now this is just my opinion. It is not financial advice. It never is. But in my opinion, any relief that we get here from the euro and the pound, it's likely to be temporary, and it goes back to this right here, this change of character, along with the fact that you can see now we are breaking below this low back here. So what that means is that from an SMC standpoint, we can take this low down here and call this now a BOS. Okay, so we do have confirmation now on the daily chart in terms of this BOS down here. Okay, so that's really important to understand, is that in my opinion, relief only. Okay, so looking at the euro now, you can see where on the daily time frame we are getting finally a bounce here from the euro after several days of just nonstop selling. And so the question now is, do we get more relief from the euro, or is this going to be it? Is this rally that we're seeing right now today on Thursday going to fade into Friday? Now, before we get to the details, I do want to mention I just partnered up with IC Markets, one of the best brokers around. And with my link, which you will find in the description of this video, I'll also post it up here in the corner. With that link, you can get a 100% deposit bonus up to $1,000 on your first deposit. And then on future deposits, you can get a 50% deposit bonus up to $25,000. Now, here's what's really cool too. If you deposit $10,000 or more with them using my link, then I will give you lifetime access to our VIP group, which includes lifetime access to Discord, as well as the complete course. So be sure to check out that link in the description of this video. So for the euro, what this is going to come down to here, looking at the daily time frame, you can see where we have this high from Wednesday. Okay, so if the euro closes above here, okay, so when you think about a daily bias, what it really comes down to is what you'll notice here is on the way down, the euro never closed above any of these highs. Okay, so every single day we were essentially just staying below the previous day's high on a daily closing basis. That's what's key. So as you can see here, so far, the euro has just wicked above the high from Wednesday. So we don't really have confirmation yet that this market is likely to give us further relief. Okay, so that's the very first thing to understand. Now, from an SMC standpoint, okay, if we look at this here on the 4-hour time frame, you can see here where we do have the euro trying to break out from this descending channel. That's not SMC, guys. That's just pure price action. But what you'll notice here is that on this move lower, in my opinion, all of this is just one leg. Okay, even if you considered this right here a separate leg for the euro, what that means is that right now, this is just relief. There is nothing here structurally to make me think that the bottom is in for the euro in any meaningful way. Okay, so that's super important. Again, any relief here that I'm mentioning in this video, in my opinion, is just that it's relief into some imbalances for a possible short. Okay, always just my opinion. So looking at the 1-hour time frame, let's go in here. So what you'll notice here is that we did have one 1-hour close above the top of this channel. And this is a pretty decent channel. You can see where off of these highs right back here, all these highs, this one, and then we have these two lows. Now this is a parallel channel, and you can see where right now the euro has broken above. It is trying to hold above this, and the jury is out on whether or not it can. So just from a pure price action standpoint, guys, I think that, and this is an SMC, but if you look here at this level, I think if we were to see the euro closing back below here on something like the 1-hour time frame, especially like the 4-hour time frame, then in my opinion, this could be it for the euro in terms of relief. Okay, and we could trade back down here toward the lows and possibly down here toward levels like 1.12. So I think that this is kind of now, in my opinion, a must hold for euro bulls if we are going to see more relief from this market. And again, you can see where they are trying to hold this market above here. Okay, if I go back here, I have the visibility turned to off for the 15-minute chart, but looking here at a 15-minute time frame, you can see exactly where the market is trying to hold above this. Okay, So that's the very first thing, right? If we close back below here, then in my opinion, this could be it for the euro. Now, if it can hold above here, okay, and we hold above here into the daily close, then you can see here with this BOS and with this now up here being the protected high, you have a situation where now from this high down here to the low, you have areas like this back here. Okay, so this drop back here, I mean, this is the worst offender in terms of an inefficiency in this market. We could possibly get a move back here toward this area. Okay, possibly. However, I am a little bit doubtful that we get all the way up there simply because of the aggressiveness of this drop. It's like I mentioned before, you can see kind of the shift that we've had here for the euro where this was all very measured back here. This was pretty tame from the euro. And then all of a sudden from this high back here following FOMC, we just saw the market really, really drop here. And the price action here completely shifted for the euro. Okay. So what I'm looking for now is if we look here at the daily time frame, let's just map this out, right? We've got these lows back here, right? These 12-month lows. We also have now, you can see on the daily chart, we have this area back here as well, like these lows. This is a fair value gap. This candle right here is a fair value gap. But you can see we tapped into part of it here on Thursday. However, there is still an area up here that is an inefficiency for the euro. So if we do see further relief, all I'm looking for is the market to give me higher highs and higher lows on something like a 1 hour time frame, okay, for a possible push into inefficiencies like this up here. And like I said, if we were to close back inside of this channel, then this could be it, okay? And we could just get the market trending back toward the lows, possibly that 1.12 area. But I think in the longer term, guys, you know, like I said in a previous video, you look here at this structure, you look at the highs back here, okay, these highs, and then you've got these lows. This is also a parallel channel. Everything right now kind of points to the potential drop down toward 1.12. So that's the wick back here. That's the low from this candle back here. And then you've also got this low around 1.1060. And we also discussed this area down toward about 1.10. So this down here is an inefficiency from back there in 2025. It's also the bottom of this channel. Okay, so I think longer term, this, in my opinion, is where the euro is likely headed. Never financial advice, but just my opinion. That's where we're probably headed here over the coming days and weeks. But it's just a matter of, like I said, do we see the euro give us a bit more relief into inefficiencies like this back here before looking for a short or possibly even higher up? Or is this going to be it? In my opinion, where the market's sitting right now is going to kind of determine what we get here over the coming days. Okay, so let's move along here to the pound GBPUSD. And if you guys want to see exactly how I trade, by the way, check out the link right here on the screen. That's going to be a free SMC training that shows you exactly how I trade. It's completely free. Just click that link, enter your name, email address, and you will get complete access. Okay, so looking at the pound, we have the market coming off the low back here. However, what is significant here for the pound is that off of this low from right back here, you can see where we did get a close below it, okay? So we do have follow through, right? Like if you wanted to call this back here your change of character, so this right here was the move up, we got the change of character below this, the lower high, we now have a BOS here below the lows, okay? So right now we do have the pound looking relatively weak despite the fact that it is bouncing here from the lows. Now, in terms of premium discount OTE, you can see here from the high to the low, this area up here is just like the euro. This really is kind of the worst offender in terms of an inefficiency for this market, right around 1.336, 1.338. I would love to see the pound get up here to look for a short. But with that said, I don't know if we are going to get it. Okay, I don't know if we're going to get this just because, like I mentioned with the euro, things have kind of changed here for these markets. I mean, especially when you look at the euro, right? The price action since back here really kind of shifted for this market. However, if you are looking to short high, which you should always be trying to do, then this area back here is it, right? This is what you want to see here. The push up here into this area, mitigate this inefficiency from back there after FOMC. And then from there, you're looking for that lower time frame shift, that change of character to possibly get short or a move back down here toward the lows, possibly that 1.30 area. Okay, so that's what I'm looking at here for the pound. I really, as far as GBP goes, I won't really entertain a short unless we see this up here. I don't know if we will or not, but in my opinion, that would be a great area to look for shorts for a continuation of this move. Again, down here toward these lows around 1.30, okay? So what you can see is that, like I mentioned this before, but where the euro has given us a change of character, we really haven't gotten that from the pound. We have the BOS up here. So this is our external low. However, we have not taken this out yet. Okay. But really, when you look at this, this is really just one big range. Okay. So I think that a push down here toward 1.3 is only a matter of time. It's just a matter of, like I said, do we see that continuation occur from current levels, or do we get this push up here into this inefficiency first to form a lower high and then target 1.30? Okay, so let's move along to the DXY, the US dollar index, which obviously everything rests on this, right? I love this chart. I love using this chart as kind of a barometer for, trading the rest of the market, trading major currency pairs. So when you look at this here, you can see where this was our change of character back here that we talked about. So daily time frame, you can see BOS here below the lows. This was our change of character. This is what I was getting bullish on the US dollar, looking for the higher low down here, which we clearly got. Now, within the context of this parallel channel that you see here, okay, we've got, the lows down here, we've got the highs up here. So just like I mentioned before, any US dollar weakness I discuss here is, in my opinion, likely to be temporary. So what we don't know right now is whether or not we are going to get the DXY trending higher up here toward this area. So this green box is an inefficiency from 2025 that we discussed in a previous video between really 102.5 up toward about 103. What we don't know is if we're going to get this area from right about current levels, or we get the push down here into some inefficiencies first. Okay, so what this is going to come down to, in my opinion, is if we look at the 4-hour time frame, you can see where I mentioned this in the gold video yesterday, but what I said there was that I wanted to see the DXY tap into this area down here. So this candle and this candle were both inefficiencies on the way up. And what you can see now is that here on Thursday, we did, wick into this area. So we basically swept part of this inefficiency. So that's not a coincidence. Again, I talked about this in Wednesday's video. So right now for the DXY, what this is going to come down to is holding on to areas like this down here around 101.2 up toward about 101.3. So this is going to be a key support area for the US dollar, to where if it can hold on to this and give us something, structurally to tell us that the bottom is in, then that could just push us, higher from these lows up here toward this 102.5 area. Okay. Now, the alternative scenario is where we get the DXY, dropping below here on the higher time frames, okay, back inside of this channel, back below these lows back here, and then targeting inefficiencies like this back here, right? Because there's no argument that there's not an inefficiency down here between 100.2 and 100.4. There's a lot of inefficiencies back here on this run up, okay? But again, we don't know if we're going to get this down here. So what it's going to come down to is the market just giving us, something structural here to tell us that the bottom is in. Now, here's the thing. This price action on Thursday has been a little bit crazy. If I'm honest, we got the push up here above these highs, and then we drop below the lows, swept this area back here that I talked about on Wednesday. So right now the jury is out. And this is one of those cases where I'm fine just standing aside to wait for something clear, because right now there really isn't anything super clear on this chart. Okay, so it's wait and see mode right now for me. I may take a short on the euro if we get the setup there. I always announce my trades in Discord too. So if you want to join us, that's one of the benefits of being in there, that I do share my trades live. But right now the jury is out on terms of what we get. But again, it's important, in my opinion, to not get bearish on the US dollar just because we have this little intraday drop. Okay. I still think that the chart looks bullish. I still think ultimately we are headed back here toward the 103 area. And really it's just a question of, do we see the market pull back to about 101.2 and that's it before 103? Or do we get a push a little bit lower into some of these inefficiencies before we get that rally up toward 103? As always, it's going to come down to the intraday structure. In other words, looking for those change of characters to determine what we get over the coming days. I truly hope this video has helped. And what will help even more is the free course on your screen right now. So click on that link, enter your name, email address, and get free access to the SMC training. Until next time, trade well. I will talk to you again tomorrow.